Hi guys, welcome to Everybody Arts. My name is Mr. Matt, and today we're going to be working on a camera stand. We're going to be doing that so that we can work on some animation. A lot of you right now, we're working on distance learning for school. To do the distance learning, you have to have Chromebooks and webcams and things like that, and an iPhone. So you basically already have computers with cameras on them already. So the webcams and the computers and the iPads, those are great. The phones, though, don't really. They need something for you to play to have them up in the air to shoot off of. And a lot of you don't have tripods for them, I'm sure. And believe me, the reason I know that you need a stand and you can't just stack it on a bunch of books is because I've already tried to do it a few times, especially having a channel like this. When I first started out, I didn't have a lot of stuff. And this is only my 6th video, so it's, again, still don't have a ton of stuff, but my wife's being really nice and letting me buy things. So thank you. Shout out to my wife because she's awesome. Anyway, yeah, I want to make sure, like I said, I want to be able to do projects with things that everybody has in their house. And I'm going to make sure to the best of my ability that if we're doing stuff, you guys can do it. Everybody can do it, okay? One important thing you got to remember to do is definitely got to cover your work area because we're going to be using glue, and I don't want anybody getting anything like cardboard glued down to their table or the floor or their sister's forehead or anything like that. So yeah, put down some paper. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about is the supplies you'll need, okay? A pair of scissors. Get a junky pair of scissors. Don't use the best one because we're cutting cardboard, okay? And cardboard will dull a pair of scissors. You want some tape. You can either use Scotch tape or you can use duct tape. I prefer to use duct tape with cardboard because it tends to stick a little better, but either one will work. You need a handful of rubber bands. Actually, technically only need 2. You'll also need a pencil, a bottle of glue. You don't need a cardboard tube. I threw that in there earlier when I wasn't sure exactly all of the supplies I needed, but there you go. And a big cardboard box, apparently. I just kind of threw in there. You're also going to want a Capri Sun box. We're going to use that for a hinge. You're going to need a ruler, and that's about it. I cut those flaps off the top of the box, like I was saying. You have 4 flaps on the box, okay? So you want 2 long ones on the top and then 1 long one from the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to take those pieces of cardboard. We're going to measure halfway down the middle, and we're going to mark a line down it and then cut down the center and glue those halves together, okay? Once we glue them together, we're going to tape them so that they're a little more sturdy. So we're going to end up with a total of 3 legs after we cut, glue, and tape them, okay? Now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to mark several points in the middle, just dots right in the middle of the cardboard leg that are 2 3/4 inches. That's the middle. I measured just to make sure that I was getting the middle of the leg. I'm going to put several dots down the middle. Now, if I do that a bunch of times and then I try to connect those dots, I will get a straight line. I keep all my supplies in a box. I try to keep it pretty neat and nifty and don't look at the rest of my room because it's filthy. But right here on the side of the table where I'm working, I try to keep all of my tools together and neat, and it just makes everything easier to work with. But yeah, the rest of the room is kind of a disturbing mess. But yeah, you didn't hear that. I didn't say anything. Now I'm going to cut right down the middle of the line. Do it kind of carefully. Like I said, don't use great scissors. And just, yeah, try not to bend the cardboard too much while you're doing it, because what we're doing here is we're going to glue the 2 pieces of cardboard together to make them a little bit stronger. I'm going to clear a space, and I'm going to pretend that I'm going to glue, and then I'm not going to actually have any glue come out because I forgot to open up the top and take out the little cork thing that was in there. I'm going to set it on the side. I'm going to screw the top back on, and then I'm going to really glue. There it goes. And put some more down. And that's it. And then you put that piece right on top. I'm only putting glue on one side. You don't have to go crazy. It's just going to spill out everywhere if you do. You push it down, try to push it together really good, and make sure those pieces, the edges are all like even, that they're all together, so that it's just one piece of reinforced cardboard that's pretty much the same dimension all around, okay? I know that it's not going to match exactly, but it should be pretty close. Don't worry too much about that glue coming out the side. Oh, I messed it up a little bit there. Wow, that was bad. Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm just going to rub it off with my finger and then set it on the side. And then wipe my hand on inconspicuous part of the paper that's covering the table. Now that I did that, I have to do 2 more legs, and then that'll be it for the gluing, okay? After that comes the taping. Now we're going to put tape on the pieces of cardboard that we glued together for the legs, the 3 pieces. Each leg is going to have 3 pieces of tape on the top, middle, and bottom. You can use Scotch tape or you can use duct tape. I use duct tape. I prefer duct tape because it seems to stick to the cardboard better. Now, to measure the tape, what you're going to do is you're going to pull out the tape to the exact width of the cardboard leg. Then you're going to grab it and pull it out another width of the cardboard leg, and then just a little bit extra, and then tear it off so that you'll be ensured that you're wrapping it all the way around. See, you can see I'm doing it here. I did it, pulled it out once the width, twice the width, a little bit more, and now I'm tearing it. Now I'm going to tear that duct tape right down the middle because we don't need a giant piece. We just want a little bit to reinforce the leg. I'm going to take one of those pieces of duct tape and lay it across the top of the roll because it won't stick to itself, but if we laid it on top of the paper, it would just stick to the paper and we'd lose a piece of tape. Now we want to wrap that tape as close to the edge on the top and bottom of the leg as possible. So there's one. The next one, I think you can see we already did the middle. And then, you got to keep that from rolling. And I'm going to do that again, and maybe again. And it'll eventually stop. Now we're going to use Scotch tape on the next leg. Same thing, you pull it out for as wide as that leg is, and then you pull it out again for the width twice, and then a little bit extra. You don't want to waste tape. And then you want to tape them as close to the top and bottom as possible. It just helps keep them together when the glue is drying and just reinforces them. And tape them tightly. As you can see, there's just a tiny bit of overlap. You don't want to waste a lot of tape. Now, either one, you don't have to use Scotch tape and duct tape. I'm just showing you because I have both, what they look like. Again, I prefer duct tape. But tape all 3 legs, and then you're done. We're taking the 2 legs that we taped up, and then we're also grabbing a Capri Sun box or a thin cardboard box, something that's folded already, because we're going to use that fold on the box as a hinge, and we're going to just tape that to the 2 legs because we're going to basically make something that looks like an A. Okay, I paused the video here just so that I could show you my fingers right next to one of 2 tabs on the Capri Sun box. After they're empty, you can see right on this lip, you're going to make a cut right next to this tab, and then there's one on the opposite side to the left of my finger. You're going to cut between those 2, and then you're going to continue that cut onto the back of the box past the fold. Since we cut in between those 2 little glued flaps, it's almost the exact width of our legs. So that's why I was using that as a guide for you. We're going to measure the tape so they can wrap completely around the leg, just like we had done before. we're going to keep it so that it doesn't roll over, and we're going to keep it. And I think I stopped it from rolling again. I hope I didn't do it that time. We're going to tape the hinge flush to the top of the leg, wrap that tape around to the back, and do it tight so that the hinge cannot move around. I'm going to take the piece of tape and put that right up towards the top of the hinge, fold it down, and then I'm going to take my other leg and put it on top of it, and then I'll ensure that I have that in the right spot. It makes it just easier to tape it that way. And see, now everything is flush. See how I'm pushing that together? Everything is flush. And now if I unfold it, I have a hinge. One really quick thing before we go any further, I forgot to mention that third leg that we're going to make, we got to cut it into 3 pieces. One 5 inches long, another 5 inches long, and then another 6 3/4 inches long. On this diagram, you'll see where those pieces are going. The 2 5-inch long pieces are going to be the feet, and the third 6 3/4 inch piece is going to be the platform we're doing now. So next what you're going to want to do is grab your camera and place it in the top of the frame that we just made, and then grab your platform. Remember, I just said that we cut this into a 6 3/4 inch piece. Right here, it shows that I didn't cut it yet, but it's supposed to be 6 3/4. Now you're going to hold the phone up against that platform in the top of the frame, and then grab a pencil. It's a little bit of a balancing act, but it's not that hard. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to make a mark on the bottom of the platform that you're holding, right where the platform touches the frame on the left side. And then I'm going to make a mark where the platform is touching the frame on the right side. And then we're just going to make sure that that mark is, you can see that pretty well. And I'm going to measure a little bit more than halfway through. I think I did about 1.5 inches on these. And then I'm going to cut them. You don't want to go all the way through. You just want to go about 1.5 inches, and that leaves about 1 inch left. What you want to do is you take the platform after you make those cuts. You can put the phone back in. Make sure it feels about right. Grab your pencil and mark on the frame where you're going to make notches for the platform. Now close the frame and make sure that line hits exactly the same at the same point on either side of the frame. You don't want it to be higher on one side than the other, because then your platform will be crooked and your phone will be crooked in the frame. So you're going to measure about 1 inch in on the frame on both sides, and then you're going to cut a notch on both sides. Once that's done, you'll gently, very gently, push the notches from the platform into the notches of the frame. You can see I bent mine a little bit here. You have to be very gentle, or you're going to completely ruin the platform and the frame. And again, you can see that I didn't actually cut down my platform to 6 3/4 like I was supposed to. You want to make sure that you still have a little bit sticking out on either side when you're finished. Now we're almost done. We're going to take a look at the feet really quick. This is where I had that extra leg that you guys glued together and taped, where you got the 6 3/4 inch piece. That was the platform. Now you should have 2 5-inch pieces. Here I'm holding up, God only knows what, that's longer than 5 inches. But each of those feet that's at the bottom of that frame, you're going to want to glue them on and then tape them and give them a little while to dry before you stand it upright and put any kind of phone in there, just to make sure that it's sturdy. The frame is actually sturdy without those feet on it, believe it or not, but it's just better that way. And you can see the feet are sticking back on the side where the platform sticks out a little extra. That's probably where you're going to need the most stability. As you can see, I'm cutting one small notch on either side of the frame at about the same height on each side. That's where we're going to take a rubber band, and I'm going to pick one up in a second. And I'm going to cut it in half, And then I'm going to tie a knot on either side of that rubber band. And I'm going to take that knot and place it on the outside of the frame and slip it in that notch on the right side and on the left side. You can see what I'm doing there. That's just going to help with stability, help it not to spread too far out. It's going to keep the legs, stable and together. Just adds a little more reliability to the whole structure. So it's really cool. And there you can see why you should use really good rubber bands, because I just broke one. But I'm going to cut another one and we'll get that whole mess sorted out. And there, I picked up another rubber band and I'm going to try to tie one again. But you don't have to watch that because this is a video and I'm going to skip through this. Here we're going to show you how to put the phone into the frame. Now I put the rubber band below where the camera sits on the phone. I'm going to slide that into the frame, and I'm going to have the camera sitting on the side that the platform doesn't jut out quite as far. I think you can see. And I'm going to take it on the bottom and stretch it underneath the platform to the other side of the phone. Then I'm going to pull it and I'm going to wrap it around the top of the phone on that side. It'll keep the phone in there very snug, and it will also allow you to tap the screen and click on your apps, change settings that you need to change. You'll be able to see the screen and see what you're shooting, move things around. It's perfect. Everything is a very nice setup. As you can see, I'm moving it around, wobbling it. It's got the best stability you can get for a cardboard camera frame. You don't want to be putting it on a table that's really wobbly or on the edge of a table, but for what it is, I think it's pretty fantastic. That'll just about do it for this video today. Sorry I'm getting out a little bit late. We were working on distance learning today with my kids, and I had to make sure that they were all set, and so that made me run kind of late getting this out. But I hope you guys are having an okay time with that too, and that everybody's making their way through. I'm really excited to have this video out there because that means we can do some animation videos together. Play-Doh, clay, Legos, paper, tearing paper, abstract animation, all kinds of really fun stuff. Like I said, I just can't wait. We're going to get the ball rolling here really soon. We're going to put the phrase for this Friday up at the end of this video. So we'll see you on Let's Draw Friday. And hope you guys are doing awesome. Be good to each other and take care. We'll see you real soon. Okay. Bye-bye.